Nick here again, and videos sponsored by the Volunteer Approach to Education. And again, go to opscores.com to calculate students' overall performance. And you can go to the book patch, or teacherspayteachers.com to see some other writings that I have done. We're still on part 1, classroom behavior management, and section A, maintaining discipline in the classroom. And we are specifically focusing on things that you can do even before you start the school year, things that you can do to prepare yourself to reduce the level of disciplinary problems that you might encounter as you go along in your teaching during the school year. The previous video was about using the physical appearance of your classroom to prepare to reduce disciplinary problems within the classroom. In this video, we are talking about the do's and the don'ts. These are some of the things, some of the suggestions that I'm making that you should make sure you do or you don't in the process of preparing. This is not going to be a very long video because a lot of these things I will be repeating them in different videos and going into some more details. Number 1, expect to have disciplinary problems. This might sound a little negative, but it is quite realistic. You are going to have disciplinary problems, most likely, and that's why you are making plans to reduce them as early as possible. Number 2, plan to depend on your colleagues for help, whether the administrators or teachers or anyone in the school, even custodians, security guards, or whoever you can get help from, but mainly from teachers and administrators. So, as I said before, number 3, get information from anywhere you think that you might need, from which you might need help. And by the way, this includes information that you might have gotten in professional development, in your training, in your college or university training. All of those areas are areas that you can go back to and research information. Anything that you can do to help reduce disciplinary problems could help. Number 4, when something seems to fail, you can get rid of it. You can modify it, or you can repeat it. Sometimes things fail because you haven't done it sufficiently. Sometimes they fail because you didn't do it the right way. Sometimes they fail because they are not the best fit. So, but don't be afraid to continue to try stuff. And simply because something fails, it doesn't mean that you have to become discouraged. Number 5, if administrators make suggestions, try your best to follow them. These suggestions could also come from teachers, but when administrators make certain suggestions, you want to listen to those administrators as closely as possible. You don't always have to follow them, but don't just simply discard whatever they say. So be mindful of that. I guess this is number 6, that you need to be constantly creative. You always got to be creative and innovative. You cannot continue to enjoy your teaching experience unless you are always in this mode of continuously being creative. And in this particular case, I'm referring to creativity to improve the disciplinary structure within the classroom. Because of course, there are other aspects of creativity that you could apply within the classroom. Specifically, in these videos, we're talking about uh, um, trying to create the best disciplinary environment within the classroom. And now we look at some of the don'ts. These are things that I'm suggesting that you do not do. Number one, do not think that discipline would not be an issue. Don't think that. You know. Of course, there are situations in which disciplinary is such a non-issue in the class or in the entire school. Generally, you have the advanced classes, you have the gifted classes. Those classes are generally classes that do not typically pose disciplinary problems. Sometimes you have entire school that are so specialized that is not an issue in any of the classrooms. So unless you know about the school and you have absolutely no information to indicate otherwise, or if the principal or the teachers unequivocally tell you that in this school we don't have disciplinary problems. But other than that, you should think that you could have some disciplinary problems and you prepare for that. Number two, do not think that you don't need help from anyone. So always, you're not going to listen to every single thing that everybody says. You're not gonna. Sometimes you're gonna have very divergent views, and you're going to have to distinguish between the ones that can be of help to you and the ones that probably would not help you. And don't stop thinking about ways to improve discipline. You're constantly thinking about what could I do? What could I do? And this happens generally, well, not generally, it happens a lot when you leave school every day. This is not something that just happens when you are in the class or when you're in school. Ideas come to you a lot when you're not in school. Now, this doesn't mean that you're supposed to take a whole baggage, the whole work baggage and so on, with you to your home. Whether or not you take work home, physical work like papers, marking papers, and so on, whether or not you do that really depends on you as a teacher. I will talk about that in other videos, but specifically about this one, you are going to have cases in which ideas come to you when you're out of school. It might be in the middle of the night that an idea comes to you about what you could do to to better a particular situation as it regards to discipline inside your classroom. And that idea could come while you're driving to school or from school, or while you're having dinner, while you're watching television at home. Many things could come to you at many different places. Number four, don't burn yourself out. And I will also spend a lot of time talking about ways in which you can prevent being burned out. But in this particular occasion, I'm referring to trying not to burn yourself out in trying to control discipline in your classroom. You really don't want to overwork yourself. You want to use methods that are effective, but at the same time, methods that do not necessarily cause you physical and mental harm. But again, I'll be talking more about this. Okay, this is the end of the video. In the next video, we're going to talk about content preparation. Content preparation could be quite extensive, so it's really about, content preparation in terms of reducing behavioral problems. So until next time, until the next video, this is Nick. Thank you again.